Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, love and light. I can tell you in real time, when you step back and you reflect and you look at situations, whether they be pressing, they be out in the distance, or if it may be something that could possibly, infiltrate your field because of other projected energy, and you're using your intuition to navigate the wisdom and the knowledge that you've received over a lifetime to process and understand each one of these situations that could be presenting themselves or may present themselves in the future, not because of your intent, but because of the intent directed toward whatever endeavor you may be working upon, right? Even if it's just being happy. That may be sent from another energy with a whole different agenda. So those things are out in the airwaves, so to speak, and whether or not they reach and infiltrate and infect you with their grief is whether or not you honor this space of reflection and you really recognize what it is that is true to you, what it is that is not, what makes you who you are inside and out, right? And that's more than an ego, that's more than a character, that's your true essence showing through with all of your movements and your mannerisms, the pitch or the tone in which you express your words, the visions that you see, the songs that you hear, even the whispers that, come to you in the wind. These are all perfect moments to use that as a reflection to embrace your present moment while enhancing your future growth. And what I see in my current reality is that although unforeseen things right underneath my nose, so to speak, right? Because I wasn't putting energy or life into, being proficient in things that I didn't need to focus on. See, those are unknown things, right? That you don't know, but now given the time to reflect upon the pertinent revelation of newfound information that, came up to light because I wasn't looking so intently. I was more focused on what I truly believe is more important. And money has never really been a driving force for me. It's never really been important to me. I know how to adapt. I know how to live. I know how to get by with little to nothing. I've been doing that my entire life. I've been okay with, stepping back and allowing others to bask in the reward, if you will. But now, in this period of reflection, I realized that not that money is important, it should have, a place in my space, but that the way that society has been molded and cultivated and guided toward is a materialistic, greed controlled based situation where you're valued not by who you are or what you could provide or your talents or your skills or even your special traits, right? But you're valued by how much money do you earn? What do you have? What kind of material things, can you say make you you? When in reality, there is not one material thing that makes me me. Because what makes me me is all from inside of me. It's spiritual. It's divine. It's enlightened. It's growth filled. And my growth isn't bought by a dollar, and it's not spent by a coin. Because what I have in me, my inner knowing, my drive, my direction, allows me to feel very confident and sure in every situation that comes toward me, because I've mastered my clarity, well, as much as you can while you're still growing and advancing, and my discernment, and the same goes, because we're always perfecting, and I don't try to outcompete another energy. I always try to outcompete my own energy. So if I was able to do X, Y, and Z yesterday, then today I should be able to start that cycle again and do A, B, and C. And who knows, maybe even have enough stamina to invite D, E, and F. Now, this is just like a play on words, but if you look into the meaning, which I thought was pretty transparent, that when you push yourself, you always go further, and you learn and evolve, and you recognize the best parts and even the worst parts of who we are. Like, what do we need to enhance? What do we need to rewrite? What do we need to pivot and change to see in order to gain value from? So the long short of it is, even though I never thought money was important, it's actually needed in order to survive. Until we change the view and the perception, and we dissolve the structured, dominating, greed-based, money-oriented systems, and provide to everyone, everywhere, free of charge, because, we shouldn't have to pay what our Creator already gifted us, which is the energy within the air, within the ground, and harness everything, not just to, light up our electronics or our house, but to also heal our body and to heal the earth itself by transmitting and transmuting and speaking clear intent and putting positive vibe toward, and focusing, on a high vibrational, universal level, allowing all to benefit from knowledge gained and wisdom achieved. Perfect place that I want to be. But until we get there, money, unfortunately, is tied to this false dream. And in this false dream, until we have the ability to rebuild a structure that works for us, not against us, right? We still have to play their game, which is a little bit difficult because it puts you in a really bad situation. How do you abolish something when you still have to play with it? Well, you use your playtime as least as possible, So instead of always turning on a fan, you open up your windows. And if you can't open your windows, then that was yet again another trap that structured society led you toward in order to be tethered to their ventilation system. But neither here nor there. You play their game until you don't have to anymore. And the day is coming, and it's coming rather quickly. So whether the intervention comes from within, from all of us collectively, where we intertwine who we want to be and the world we want to live in, to the solutions that we need to enhance, and the direction we need to embrace. And we do this simultaneously, and we do this collectively until the dam is broken, so to speak, and the floodgates come crashing in. It's not to add despair. It's just to say that what once was held back and, contained has been released and is now available for everyone to be able to embrace, enhance, and, thrive with freely. But until then, we have to play this game. So, what I suggest is that every day you hold this space in your reflections and you add hope and love, compassion and understanding and true unity to the world, to everyone's dilemma, situation, whatever it may be. And this way, you're not only reflecting and, identifying through reflection what is good and good not for you, what is good or not for you, but also adding positive energy through compassionate love to everyone, everywhere, giving everyone an added ability to receive energy that is inviting, that has direction, that has solutions, that are more based and more geared toward us, the collective, everywhere, everyone who is tired of being led, misdirected, and forced to reflect more often so that a response is given more readily than an outburst through a reaction for, not taking that moment to sit back and pull yourself together before you, put your next foot forward or your next hand out, however you want to look at it. But I try to speak vaguely, but I also try to use me as an example as many times as I can. And since I don't really have anything to hide from anyone, anywhere, because I believe in honest, pure truth. And when I can accept the honest, pure truth, even if it hurts me, means that I've gained more structure and more alliance with my higher consciousness, with the entire picture, with the wholeness and the fullness of the all. Understanding that we are all very important individually, don't get me wrong, but a massive force we are when we are collected together and we interconnected or intertwined or united, if you will, band in harmony and frequency in order to release those floodgates, to bring utopia here that much faster. Because we have that power. We always had that power. But now we understand that reflection before the next step, the next hand, the next move is dire in order to remain balanced and harmonized and clear with our clarity, our wisdom, and then true enlightened knowledge will always follow. For that I do promise. At least for me anyway. My lovely collective, no matter what you do, I send you love and light and reflection. My leg is jumping. I was sitting on my nerve. Yikes. See? I reflected and I realized what was going on, and I shifted my body, my mindset, transmuted that pain into pleasure, and I laughed. And I used transparency, and I gave it all to you, showing that no matter what may come, you have the power to alchemize into the best benefit for you. And by doing that, you'll be helping your neighbor too. Love and light, peace and joy.